Hello, this is Krazy. I'm going to show you how to install Visual Studio Community Edition, get it set up for RimWorld modding. This is going to be like aimed at somebody that's obviously pretty new to coding, at least coding with C# and using Visual Studio, obviously, or else you wouldn't need to look at this tutorial. You'd have a pretty good idea how to do it already, so because I don't know who else would watch this video. Okay, so let's grab Visual Studio 2017. Now, I already installed it, but I just installed it. I've just upgraded from 2015. I've been using 2015 at home and at work. So a lot of this is very new to me as well. So it's fresh in my mind. That's why I'm making the video. And once again, this is going to be with OBS. So don't expect anything to be edited down or anything like that. I'm not going to be putting it through Sony Vegas or nothing like that. I'm just going to throw it up on YouTube, and you'll either like it or you won't. So let's look up Microsoft Visual Studio 2017, and we're going to go to the Microsoft Visual Studio official site. I don't think that's the correct one. I think we want to grab this one right here, Microsoft Visual Studio, the one that starts with Microsoft.com, maybe. And no, this is the one that wants us to buy. We don't want to buy it. Download Visual Studio. There we go. This is where we want to be. And what we want to grab is the Visual Studio Community 2017 community. Is what's important here. This is the one we want. So you're going to do free download. Eventually what you're going to get is going to get a little Visual Studio download launcher splash screen like this guy right here. And when you are installing it, you're going to see a screen like this. So I sat here and I struggled with trying to get the most bare minimum individual components for RimWorld modding. It was frustrating because it would not pick up some stuff correctly. I don't know. It was a pain in the ass. Just the only way that I got it to function the way I want it to is to just select the .NET desktop development. Just like this guy right here. Boom. I'm gonna unselect everything and see if I can't get it back to how you would have it. Okay. So this is how you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to say the .NET desktop development. It's tempting to unselect all this stuff because you don't need it and you only need the 3.5 development, but it's not going to work if you don't. Just leave it selected. Don't know why. Yay Microsoft. But you need to make sure that you have 3.5 stuff, since that's what RimWorld is built on. I don't know if these development tools are required. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm not totally sure. You don't need the .NET Core runtime. That's something different. You don't need a lot of this stuff. But like I said, just leave it checked in because it's not going to function correctly if you don't. Let's see. So other things that you need. You will need GitHub extension for Visual Studio. I think that's about it. It says I am at negative 98 megabytes, so I am missing something. What else did I have here? I think I accidentally grabbed Git as well. No, I did not. Oh, Class Designer, I think. Yeah, Class Designer. I also picked up the Class Designer just because it's really quite cool. You can use it to. I do believe you need this to build automatic class diagrams and ERD, or not ERD, but UML diagrams with relationship arrows and stuff, which can be extremely useful in some cases. It's one of the main reasons why I use Visual Studio over just the Visual Code. So yeah, make sure you grab that. There's tons of stuff here to play with that you can come back to later, like the NuGet package manager, really nice. People can make NuGet packages, and you can download NuGet packages, and they're kind of like APIs. Well, I think they are pretty much like class libraries and stuff, but I'm not 100% sure on exactly what NuGet is. Somebody else could probably explain it a lot better than I do, but I use NuGet. I've used it in the past to grab required things to work on certain projects, and it's makes everything super simple. It's just like go to Tools, NuGet, Package Manager. You add the damn NuGet package to your project, and boom, you're done. Okay, so but that's what you're gonna want to do. So depending, it will say that it needs to install like 600 million gigabytes of stuff, but depending on how much stuff is already in your computer installed, it might not take that long. For example, mine only took like 10 minutes to install because I had all this stuff already installed pretty much. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of this thing and let's just launch a Visual Studio 2017 app. Now mine imported my theme from 2015. I'm pretty certain it doesn't come standard like this. I could be wrong, but I bet you I could find, let's see, maybe it's under View. No, it's probably under Tools, Options, Environment. Yep, Environment, General, Color Theme. You can change your color theme here. I highly recommend going with the black. The blue isn't terrible. It's a little bit too much contrast for me though. My eyes get extremely worn out if there's a lot of contrast going on, or not. I guess contrast isn't the correct word. If I'm looking at a lot of whites, my eyes will get extremely worn out, and I'll start to get a headache, and I'll look like the devil because my eyes are all bloodshot and stuff. So that fixes it by going to dark theme. That doesn't happen. So whenever you can dark theme stuff, always dark theme stuff because it is way better on your eyes. Unless some programs have dark themes where they use like a bright white for the text too, and that's retarded. If you notice the white, it's an off white that they use here, which makes it much easier. Off white and then blues, of course. So okay, let's create a new project. So we can do it from the launch screen here, or we can just go File, New, Project. Now, what we want to select here is we want to select a class library. Now, if you have used a different Visual Studio before, I know in 2015 it just said class library, and then it had some other ones. There's no just class library anymore. You have class library for the .NET Framework and class library for the .NET Standard. You want to use the .NET Framework. The .NET Standard is technically a different collection of classes and APIs or namespaces. It's not the one you want to use. They're similar, but you want to use the framework one. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set yourself up a folder somewhere for repositories, and that's where you're going to be creating your project. So I just have mine's called GitHub Desktop Repositories because I have GitHub Desktop, but I'm not going to show you how to use that because there's really no point in using it for Visual Studio projects anymore. So, but that's still the name of the folder. What you're going to want to do is create or you don't have to create a new folder right now, but you're going to want to keep in mind that you should eventually use these for a clearly labeled folder for your projects instead of just, I think by default it goes to your username, yada yada, maybe app data or something, I don't know. Now I'm going to call this one YouTube project, and create directory for solution will be in there by default. You want to unselect this. It's just gonna be a little bit easier for what we're doing. And you're going to, okay, so we .NET Framework. Oh, up here at the top, make sure that you have the 3.5 framework selected. It'll probably start off in the most current one. You want to make sure you do 3.5 when you're working with Unity. Okay, let's go. Okay, so over here in the Solution Explorer, now your screen might look a little different than mine. It's probably going to look different than mine because I think it's remembering my settings from 2015. Yours is probably gonna, you know what? Let me see if I can't put it back to default. Reset layout. Are you sure you want to restore the default? Yes. I didn't do anything. Is it really what it's like now? No, it can't be. Nah. 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 I have a window layout called RimWorld. What? I don't even remember doing that. Manage Windows layouts. Maybe I got rid of the default one. I don't even know. Toolbars. Other windows. Sorry about this. Once again, this is kind of uncut here. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go forward and say that yours is probably going to look something like this. You're probably going to have your toolbox sticking out here and pinned. This is probably what yours is going to be looking like. Maybe, probably something else on the bottom here. What's usually on the bottom? It's like a, what is usually down there? Is it the error list? Yeah, this is what it looks like, I think, by default. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so all I do different is I just come over here to the toolbars and I just unpin it. So you still have the stuff over here, your server, explorer, and your toolbar, but they're never going to come over. It gives you more working space. Down here on the bottom, you're only going to really be paying attention when you're RimWorld coding. Okay, the warnings are helpful and stuff, but it's a lot easier just to auto hide your error list and stuff. You can always click on it if you want to see it down here. But it will pop up for you when you build it, I do believe. Let's see. Yeah, when you build, it'll pop up and you'll see any errors that come up. So it's not going back down. It should be going back down here. Unpin. Build. Okay. Click.